Greetings viewers, Night here, and this is going to be a serious video. So recently, Jonah Smith has been removed from Can. He used Karome Toei to shed some light on as to why, as well as provide some information Jonah himself might not have given people.
Well then, this will be fun to delve into. So, with Jonah, you'd think if you had issues with a group or its members, you'd discuss it with them or something along those lines, right? Well, when you're Jonah Smith, that's apparently too hard. You see, Jonah would go to other chats, mainly on Discord, and he would bitch about, things like Jay's response to his commentary on him and other things about Can-related business. You see, Jonah was kicked from Can because of the numerous incidents of leaking stuff in the Can chat, but he was told by the admins, myself included, that if he improved himself and got his shit together in the next few months or so, we would consider adding him back. Which, by the way, he threw away by leaking this shit to the public again. So to everyone who's listened to Jonah and are sympathizing with him, the TLDR version is he fucked up. He's continuing to fuck up, and he's telling you a story leaving out the bits of him fucking up so that we and Cam look like the bad guys who decided to pick on the poor, depressed little thing for funsies. Like, honestly, if you legit need to get the full story about any of this, a lot of you have me in your contacts, and if you don't, I'm not too hard to find on Skype. That's all I'm gonna say on this matter.
Being entirely honest, I didn't want there to be a reason to remove Jonah. I don't hate him as a person, and I do consider him capable as a commentator. However, there is the issue that if Jonah doesn't care for someone's behavior or actions, rather than go to the person he's displeased with, Jonah tends to turn to people who are uninvolved. The first time going to DM88 because he didn't care for the behavior going on in Can. The second time he went to some funny meme claiming that the Can mod staff was spying on or stalking him, when really we were just keeping an eye on him for past behavior. And most recently going to Digital Tie's Discord server, apparently to complain about how we were unfavorably discussing commentary titles people in Can considered uncreative or clickbaity. Now I'm not saying Jonah didn't have the right to disagree with people on that subject, but rather than raise counter-arguments, he went off into a different chat to complain about it. I'm not going to assume his intent, but I can guess that he name-dropped people that were in Can at the time. Why else would somebody meme post this question on Ernie's Ask FM? In case you don't know who Some Funny Meme is, he was a former Can member we threw out, mainly due to his obnoxious and disruptive behavior and providing absolutely no substance to the group. Ever since then, Some Funny Meme has been rather salty about his removal, and going out of his way to pick fights with members of the Can chat. There's also the issue that Jonah was apparently going around claiming that the mod staff of Can, or just me, were stalking and spying on him after being told that the mod staff would keep an eye on him due to poor behavior in the past. Not saying Jonah didn't have a right to vent, but what's said in a mod chat should stay in the mod chat. And Jonah gave out misinformation due to misinterpretation. This was mainly why a mod call happened between Jonah and the modding staff of Can. It seemed like whenever something went unfavorably for Jonah, whenever he talked about it to people who were uninvolved, it was sure to be followed by someone raising a stink about it. Granted, this leak was small, but by this point, even Supersonic Award 15 and Dark Crimson Knight 89 had agreed that with Jonah, things that started out small had a habit of getting blown out of proportion. I would also like to point this out. I originally intended for Supersonic Award 15 to be Jonah's parole officer of sorts. Seeing as they're both in dock, Ward would be able to keep an eye on Jonah and see if his behavior was improving. The original idea was to let Jonah come back at the end of December based on good behavior, but that seems to be something he left out of his twitlonger, which, by the way, I had no issue with him making. This whole situation wasn't helped by the fact that Blasty went onto a Doodletones livestream and made it sound like we threw Jonah out unfairly. Can already had a negative reputation due to a garbage commentary, but Blasty added fuel to the fire by revealing that F-Team members are part of the Can chat. There seems to be a bit of a misunderstanding going around. Apparently because F-Team members are part of the Can chat, that means they have influence over the Can chat. Let me assure you, they do not. I originally brought in Chirprox, Ernie, Jorm, and the Masked Star Maker when they were still members of the CC. The original idea was for the two groups to have a merger, but after they left, they said they didn't want to merge the two groups. They were, however, willing to come into the group as associates. And while they have given advice on how the commentators in the group can improve their content, they don't provide anything major to the videos our people put out. The last thing Chirprox did that was related to commentaries was to provide her voice for a new skip screen I use. Pretty Kitty was recently added to the group by Karume, presumably because she'd heard there were fun people to be around in Can. The most the F-Team contributes to Can is to show up in podcasts and Let's Plays. At the end of the day, every major decision that goes on in Can is mine. Like Karume, I am more than willing to talk to anyone who's been making this a big issue on Twitter. For example, Doodle Jones has me added on Skype, and I know she's talked with Mr. A about Can. So I ask Doodle, and anyone else who's been treating this whole thing with Can like it's some sort of major drama, to at least listen to what we've had to say. You don't have to like it or agree with it, but at least listen to what we've had to say. Thank you.